Alright guys, so for this trick, I want the spectator to go ahead and take the deck and to shuffle the deck as much as they want. So they can go ahead, give it some quick shuffles like this, and then maybe I can take the deck back as well and give it a few more shuffles like this, and maybe some cuts as well. So now, I ask the spectator to hold out their index finger, because I want them to actually touch any card as I spread through, just like this. It's a completely free choice. It is not a force at all, I promise you. But here's the card, and I'm not looking at all, okay? This is the card right here. I'm gonna leave it sticking out in the middle of the deck right here, and I actually want the spectator to go ahead and push the card all the way in to the deck, all right? My head is still turned, and I also want them to cut the deck as many times as they want, so that there's literally no way I could know where the card is. So I ask them if they're done, they say yes, so I can turn my head back. And now this is like the first time I'm actually looking at the deck here after they've chosen a card. I have no idea what card it is. I have no idea where it is. I'm just gonna spread out the cards. I'm just gonna ask the spectator, do you guys see your card anywhere in the deck? They're gonna say yes. Now I'm gonna say, look, I'm just gonna start here from the top and I'm gonna go down and try and figure out what your card is, okay? So just by feeling with my hand here, I can get a sense that your card is somewhere in the top half of the deck. It's not near the bottom. It's definitely in the top here. Okay, it's one of these cards. I know it is. Was your card actually the Queen of Hearts? And they're gonna say, yes, that was my card out of all of these cards. And that is the trick, guys. So now for the tutorial. Alright guys, so here's the tutorial for the trick that you just saw. So what I'm actually going to be teaching you guys today is something called the key card principle. That's what this trick is all about. If you guys don't know what that is, it basically means when I spread out the cards here face up, I'm looking at the cards and the spectator's selection is always going to be directly next to a card that I know ahead of time. So I can just look for my key card and the card next to it will always be the spectator's card. So I'm gonna be teaching you guys a really cool way of setting up this key card principle. And I believe this specific thing was actually created by Calabrese, and that's at least where I first saw it and learned it. So I wanted to show it to you guys because it's really, really awesome. So here is the basic idea of how this key card principle works. So I'll give a quick overview and then I will go into a more in-depth tutorial afterwards. So first what's gonna happen is you're gonna be shuffling the deck, and as you shuffle the deck here, you can just shuffle it up, the spectator can shuffle it up, and in this process, you're going to remember what the top card is, okay? So I already know the card is the Jack of Clubs. So I'll get into more on how to do that in a minute. But once you do that, you're gonna cut the card into the middle of the deck and you're gonna hold a break. Then what's gonna happen is you're gonna have the spectator touch any card above the spread, so they can't touch it below. But once they touch it, what's gonna happen is you're still holding this pinky break here. You're gonna move all the cards below the break and you're gonna use your thumb with your left hand to slide the card out of the top spread to show what card they selected, all right? And that's gonna be the Queen of Hearts there. What's gonna happen is you're gonna leave that card right there out jogged. And what happened is you just placed the card right on top of your pinky break, which is the Jack of Clubs, which is going to be your key card. So that is essentially how it works. And then you can lose the card in the middle. They can cut the cards as many times as they want. The only thing that you know in your head right now is Jack of Clubs. So when you spread through the cards and you look through them yourself, you look for the Jack of Clubs, which is, where is it? Right here. And you guys can see that the Queen of Hearts, their selection will always be to the left of my key card right there. And that's how I know what the card is. So now let's get into a more in-depth tutorial of how you can actually do this. So here's what's happening. It's actually pretty simple. So first, you're gonna have the spectator shuffle the deck. So they're gonna shuffle the deck just like this as much as they wish. It doesn't matter how many times they shuffle it. Then you're gonna take the deck back and you're gonna hold the deck face up in preparation for an overhand shuffle. All you're gonna do is take a peek at the bottom card right here. So I see Ace of Diamonds. Now what you're gonna do is instead of shuffling off a block of cards, you're just going to shuffle off one card, just like so. Just peel off one card with your thumb, and then you can start peeling off multiple blocks of cards, just like this on top of that card. And once you do that, you just do that once, and your key card, your Ace of Diamonds, will now be on the top. And that's all you have to remember. Ace of Diamonds is on the top. So once this card is now remembered and on top of the deck, all you do is you just hold the deck in a swing cut position like this. And you're going to give the deck a swing cut, and then you're going to give it some multiple swing cuts, and you're just going to hold a break just like so, all right? You can just keep cutting the cards, and you're just gonna hold a break, and now your break right here is right on top of that ace of diamonds. Now, here's one thing that you need to keep track of. When you spread out the cards, the spectator is going to be allowed to touch any card. The thing is, they actually need to touch a card within the top half of the deck. You cannot have them touch a card below your pinky break or below that ace of diamonds. It needs to be above. So one thing that I've done in the past, if I know that my spectator is going to be a little bit annoying and they're gonna want me to spread through all the cards, one thing that you can do is when you give the cards some swing cuts, you can first just take a very small packet like this, and then you can start swing cutting on top. That will make sure that your ace of diamonds goes very, very deep in the deck right here. So now the spectator has an option to choose all of these cards. So now I can spread through a lot of cards here, and now they can touch any card that they want to. So they can go ahead and they can touch any card here within the top half. So let's say they touch this one over here. All you're gonna do is out jog the card that they touched. Your right hand pinky is going to sort of lift up on your pinky break right here. So you're just from underneath, you're just gonna lift up on that just so that you can get a grip above all these cards above the break. So once you do that, now your left hand is kind of free, because now what you can do is you can sort of let go of this break because you sort of transferred the pinky break from your left pinky to your right pinky. That's all you've really done. Now all you're gonna do is you're gonna move your left hand forward and your thumb is gonna contact this out jogged card, and you're just gonna pull it out and show the spectator the card like this. And this is gonna be the spectator's card, and you're not gonna look at the card, so you're seriously not gonna know what this card is. But what you've just done is, since you pulled it out of the spread, you've actually just placed the card right here on top of your ace of diamonds. Because what's gonna happen now is you're just gonna put the card right here, and then you're gonna put all these cards right here on top of it, and then you're just gonna square up the card. And what you've just done is you put the card right on top of that key card. The deck can be cut as many times as the spectator wants, and they can cut it as many times just like so. And that's actually not going to really disturb the order of the key card or anything. That's just gonna cut the cards multiple times. Now what's gonna happen is now you can actually turn your head back, and now you can look at the deck again. Because the whole time when you're doing that, you were actually turning your head away. So that's one thing that you should practice. Make sure you can do all of that with your head turned, because you don't wanna be looking at the deck. So now you're gonna take the deck back, turn it face up, and then you're gonna spread the cards out the best that you can. So just make sure that you can see every single card. Now all you're going to do is look for your key card, which I know is the ace of diamonds, which is right here. And now I instantly know the card to the left of the ace of diamonds, the four of clubs right here. This is the spectator selection. It works every single time, okay? Now all I have to do at this point is take my hand, and I can do whatever I like at this point. You guys can really do whatever card trick you want at this point. I just did like a version of the pulse card trick. You can actually have the spectator do this. You can have the spectator hold out their hand, and then you can grab their wrist and you can feel their pulse as you go through the deck, and then you can pretend like their pulse is getting higher when it's near their card, and then that can be the indicator to stop, and then that will be the spectator's card right there. There are many other ways to do this. At this point, you can just spread out the cards, and then you can see what the card is, and then you can just go through and then secretly like cut that card to the top of the deck. You could do a turnover pass like this. Now the spectator's card is on top, and now you can do like whatever you want. Now you can like palm the card out if you guys want to do that. You guys can do literally anything at this point. So there is one thing that you guys are probably wondering. Now the spectator is allowed to cut the deck as many times as they want, right? So they can cut the deck, and that will mean that their cards will most likely end up in the middle, right? So where's the ace of diamonds right now? The ace of diamonds is right here next to the four of clubs. See, they'll always stay next to each other. But what if the spectator is cutting the deck and they cut the deck right here, just like this, and you see that the spectator's card will end up on the bottom and the key card will be on top? Well, as I said, the spectator's card will always be to the left of your key card, which is the ace of diamonds. So what if the ace of diamonds is on top? There's no card to the left of that. Well, actually, the card to the left of the top card is going to be the bottom card. If your key card somehow ends up on top, the spectator's card will always be this card on the bottom. But if this happens, it's okay. You can actually make it sort of a cool thing. You can say, I had you cut the cards as many times as you want, and you can see the cards right here. The only thing I don't know how you did it is you cut your card right here to the top of the spread, and that can just be a really cool reveal right there. That's pretty rare. It's not going to happen all the time. So most likely the cards are going to be cut and the cards will end up there in the middle of the deck. So there's going to be the cards right there. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much the entire trick. I really hope you guys enjoyed this, and I really hope you guys start using this principle because it's really, really cool. So anyways, guys, I really hope you guys enjoyed the trick, and see you guys next time. Bye.